Alright guys, this is an FSD 13.2.1 video. I'm just heading to get coffee, and very small thing, but rather than route to it on the screen here, I just have it up in Google Maps, and if I go to share this place, Tesla, it should then share to the car, so I can just come into the car, press and hold, and now what we should do is go in reverse. Perfect. I would go further back, but I guess it's fine. Yeah, see, the car did this last night too, where, I mean, it's fine, we did it, but we have all the space in the world that it should go back further rather than get very close to the vehicle in front of us, because it even second guessed itself on that decision, but it worked. It's very cool. Reverse is neat. Okay, perfect. Good stop here, and then we should just proceed. I don't see anybody on our left. Yep. I don't know why it thinks we're in a 30 zone, because I'm almost certain we're not. I think, sort of, as I've mentioned in my other videos, full self-driving's Achilles heel at this point is map data. So hoping that Tesla Maps becomes a thing rather than relying on Google Maps and whoever else it is that they use. You have a fleet of cars driving. Why not have them all create the mapping, right? We have somebody crossing. The car is definitely slowing down for them, which is great. And now we can kind of pick back up and go since they've passed. Great job there. All right, so these are the release notes for 13.2.1, which I just installed last night. I'm sure most of you know and have seen the changes, but the biggest thing is this now is a AI4 model. Like this is hardware 4 being decoupled from hardware 3, and this is the first iteration of that. And it's honestly, looking at the upcoming improvements, this is just like the beginning. Like once we introduce the 3 times model scaling, 3 times context length, those things are going to be huge and make a big difference, and that's still to come. So already version 13 is very impressive, and I think it's only going to, I think once they do the 3 times model and 3 times context, it'll be another huge leap forward. Reduce photon to control latency. That, again, if I'm wrong in any of this, let me know, but that basically is from when the car sees something to when it makes the decision, it's twice as fast now. So from photon, from like vision in to control, it's going to happen twice as quick. All the decisions it makes should in effect be twice the speed, which is huge. Speed profiles on both city streets and highways, which I really like. I use speed profiles and enjoy them on the highway. And the fact, I mean, you can see it now, we have hurry mode. It's great to see it on the city streets. I'm just going to try and figure out which one is the best one for me. I've heard hurry is good, though I may end up keeping it in standard. For now, we're using hurry. Integrated unpark, reverse, and park capabilities. That's definitely like a work in progress from what I would say. The parking, it works, but it's definitely not perfect. It has issues, like when you come to a destination, it'll sort of do like an awkward nose in. Okay, we should just go over. Okay, nice. This guy's signaling. We should give him space. No, we're not. We're an asshole. I might take over to give him space. So I don't really love that. There was no need for us to not let that person in. Let me know what you think in the comments, but if someone's signaling to come in, unless they've obviously cheated a bunch of the lane and shouldn't be doing that, you should always let the person in if they're signaling. So that was too bad. And things like that are where I wish that we had the camera snapshot button to kind of give feedback to Tesla without having to fully disengage FSD. Like I didn't end up disengaging, but I do want them to know that I believe is the wrong move. All right, so being that the car is in hurry mode and the left lane is definitely going quicker, I would expect it to turn left here. Yeah, exactly. Really good job. It's that car in front of us slowed down, and the car, we slowed down with it, which in version 12 it was definitely waiting to slow down, and then there's a lot of like what felt like uncomfortable late brakes. That was perfect. We're keeping a good distance, and yeah, that's definitely a huge change. So there's an ambulance in front of us. It's not represented on the screen. I didn't think it would be, but it is interesting to see. I think that's coming in a future version. Okay. Yeah, good job on the yellow light there. It was stale, but we went through it with the flow of traffic, so I wouldn't say that was bad at all. Super smooth so far. I mean, we're just in kind of stop and go traffic here, so that's why I think I've been fast forwarding a lot of this, but the like braking pattern and the distance that we're keeping to the vehicle in this kind of traffic feels way better than version 12. There's none of that kind of harsh braking when we come up behind a vehicle. It's all very smooth. So far this feels amazing. And it's pouring rain. It's a little bit dark. The conditions aren't ideal, and FSD is handling it great right now. So that's really good. The right lane was definitely more clear, and I was curious if the car was gonna, as we went through that intersection, take it and move over, and we did that. So that was perfect. That's a hurry move that I would have done if I was in a hurry, and the car definitely did that. Overall, this drive has been perfectly smooth. Like there's been zero issues, and there's no chance on earth that if you're in the back of this car, you would know that a computer was controlling this versus a human. This feels great. I was actually in LA a couple days ago, and I got a chance to ride in a Waymo. This is just as smooth. This feels like I'm in a Waymo the same way, with all the decisions it's making, the speed, the movement. It's, I'm sure this version isn't perfect, and this isn't a robo-taxi ready build, but it's incredible how much better this already is feeling. And yeah, it's been this whole drive, and I'm just hanging out, I'm chilling. I pressed a button on a screen, and I feel like on my way home it's going to be the same thing. I'm going to press one button on the screen, and it's going to take me home. So I can't wait for the day that this goes unsupervised, and you're able to do these drives and get a little bit of your freedom back. Like I have, because I was away in LA, I have a bit of work to do. I have some emails to send, and I'm choosing to get these videos made, and then I'll go do my work when I get home. But how amazing would it be for me if I could just be doing this with a laptop sitting right here, or typing on this, or whatever. So I'm looking forward to that day. I think it's going to be huge, and I think that'll be a breakthrough for FSD as well, when people realize, oh, the 2 hours I spend a day commuting, I can get that back. I can watch a movie, I can whatever, I can work, whatever you choose to do, but you're not sitting there having to drive. You get the time to yourself. I think that'll be massive. I think when that happens, I think a lot of people are gonna open their eyes to FSD and realize how good it is. What do you guys think? Like, is FSD unsupervised in next year, 2025? Do you think that's going to happen? Is that something that California and maybe Texas, like a few like specific states will implement. And I feel like if they did do it, you know, it would be in ideal scenarios. Like I think if it's raining, it shouldn't be. I think it should be in clear roads, dry, like good conditions. But I personally believe that next year we could get there. It would be very similar to Mercedes-Benz Level 3, where the car can drive for you, and then if it feels that you need to take over, it'll give you 5 seconds notice. I think that's what Mercedes does. And FSD could do that. You know, like the car can basically handle everything. And then if it gets itself into a scenario where it's like, hey, I actually don't know what to do, it just presents itself on the screen however it would do that, and say like, hey, like I need you to take over because I don't know what to do here. Yeah, could be really cool. I'm excited for that to happen. All right, so turning right here, and then our destination is pretty much straight ahead. I'm curious what it'll try to do to park. I'm guessing I'm gonna have to take over and actually park us, but we'll see. There is street parking on the right, so it could get lucky with the spot and then just pull into that. There's nothing available, so I think it's just going to stop us here on the side of the road, which, Cybercab world, that's great. I'd want to get dropped off right here. It did exactly what it should. The drive is going to end, so that's good. I'll just have to take over and actually park us, but that's in the release notes. That's an upcoming feature, and I wasn't really expecting it to do that just there. So I will park us. All right, just picked up the coffee here, so I'm just heading home now. I tried to do a slightly different route so we'd see a different path. So I've put it into the car already, and all I'm gonna do is press and hold, reverse, perfect. It's funny, like I've said, it's such a small change, but it's so cool to have the car do this for you, like the reversing and the unparking. It's pretty fun. Okay, so we're stopped way back here in the alley. We should just kind of creep forward. I don't see anybody. I think we're good to go. Oh, perfect. All right, so yeah, so the drive here, I think that's 0 disengagements, 0 issues, and we'll see how it does on the way home. Not a like, you know, particularly difficult drive, and I will put it through more of a stress test in the future. This is just something I needed to do this morning, so I figured I'd record the drive. But I mean, heavy traffic, lots of rain, and so far the car has handled it absolutely perfectly. The only critique I had was it not letting that person in when they had their signal on. So green light, we're good to go. And actually, I'm just realizing this right now. For all the rain that there is, I haven't gotten one notification about full self-driving degraded. That would chime pretty much nonstop in rain like this. So that clearly has been changed and is a very welcome change. Like I do want to know if the cameras are having issues seeing, but I also don't need to be told every 1 minute that it's raining. Yeah, the car is so smooth. It's pretty remarkable. Like when it changes lanes and moves around, indistinguishable from a human, if not better, is where I would put it right now.
Reveals
Okay, I had to intervene there with a little bit of a accelerator press. There was pedestrians on the side of the road, but there was no reason for FSD to be slowing down for them. Um, that was too bad. Like I've seen videos and appreciate how well full self-driving handles itself around pedestrians, and I appreciate that it errs on the side of caution, especially on roads where there are people walking in and out of their vehicles. But that person is very clearly on the sidewalk and showed no intention of coming onto the highway, which is what we're on, literally a highway. So it's definitely wrong for the car to be waiting there. And maybe it would have gone. It's bad traffic. I pressed the accelerator. Okay, those lights are flashing, so I would have slowed down as a human. But I guess the speed we're going, it's fine. Okay, there's a small gap here. I assume it'll squeeze through. It could. It's very close on the right there. Wow, wow, wow. I don't think the cameras will do that justice, but that was a very tight squeeze. And the car did it. That was that's a version 13 thing for sure. 12 would not have done that gap at all. That was incredible. Like coming up to it, I was like, oh yeah, you could get through. And then the closer we got, the more I was like, oh, that's very close. I probably would have waited or been as hesitant as the car was just there to go through it. So great job. Okay, so we're gonna have to get over here. I think we should be good though. We should signal. I would at least, but okay, yeah, perfect. Nice job. And so this route that we're taking back, it definitely has a lot more of like a windy road section as well. We go through a couple more school zones, so I'd be really curious to see how version 13 handles this all. Okay, I would just go right now. Perfect. Really nice job. And I think there's speed bumps here that are kind of hard to see, so hoping that the car picks those up. Yeah, so I can see the sign for speed bump coming up here. We are slowing down. Did it know? Wow. Okay, we slowed down very early for that speed bump, but in a very gradual, nice way. Another one here. Wow. Incredible job on these speed bumps. In the past, it's definitely just flown through this area and not stopped for those. Whereas now it's seeing them from way further away. Like, yeah, it's recognizing them way further out than I've ever seen the car do. And then doing a great job with that. Like, I think it's going to start slowing down here probably, and it is. Wow. Really, really, really good job on the speed bumps here. I can see there's another one. The car slows down. Crazy. That's a huge change. If you spend any time with version 12, speed bumps are a bit of a pain point because if it sees them, it usually sees them a bit too late, so the slowdown is a bit harsh. It's seeing these at the perfect time and slowing down with tons of space. Wow. Okay, well that was flawless through that area there. Red light, we can definitely stop and then creep. So I'm hoping that we got our stop. We're creeping forward. I would just go, and it does. Perfect. Really good job there. and moves over right away to the left lane. Wow. This version is remarkably smoother. And again, I think I'm testing it in kind of like a terrible situation that it's kind of dark and rainy. I only imagine in the day this would be better. But I really don't have anything to complain about, so I don't know how much better it could get. Definitely slowed down for that crosswalk there. Okay, prepare to stop. It's slowing down a lot right now. I don't know why. I think it may be because that person and the signs that it thought we were like in a construction zone, maybe. It was maybe nice to slow down for that person, but we didn't need to. Okay, perfect. Definitely slowing down for the speed bumps again. We're now in a school zone, which is 30. Going 37. I think it's getting a lot of cues from the vehicle in front of us, so I'm actually going to scroll this down to 30. Because that truck is speeding through the school zone. I don't want to. And I think the car is picking up a lot of cues from the truck on what to do, so. I still think it signals a little bit early. Like we're quite far back before it turned on the right signal. That was a weird stop. I imagine it'll show up in the video, but it's, and I saw JD, AI driver, kind of mention this as well, but the car wants to, it almost seems like the car wants to roll that stop sign, which I would be definitely okay with if it got down to like 2 kilometers an hour and then kept going. But it's like it got down to 1 forever there and wouldn't quite stop. But because it wasn't stopping, it wasn't allowing itself to go through the stop sign, but then it wasn't stopping to stop. So it had gotten this weird like conflict where it just like hung out at 1 kilometer an hour for way longer than it should have, and then stopped and then went. We would probably get honked at if there was a person behind us, and we did that. Speed bumps again, perfect. It's unfortunately stuck thinking that it's in a 30 zone, which we're not. I'm not going to disengage because there's nobody behind us, but that's why the truck ahead of us is going so much faster than us, because this is a 50, even maybe a 60 zone, and we're thinking it's a 30, and as a result going 46 at max. I can scroll that up, but I don't think that'll really like change anything. Oh well, okay. So I can scroll it up and make it go a more appropriate speed. But yeah, like the main and only pain points I really have here are map related issues. All right, so we're going straight through the roundabout here. We'll see what it does with the signal. If it was me, I would start signaling now. Yeah, perfect. It's a, yeah, great job signaling in and out of these roundabouts now. That's something that the car did not do before, 100%, and it is doing now. And it's doing a really good job of it. I may be driving up to Whistler tomorrow, and if I do, I'll do a long kind of highway test on version 13. So that should give us a good kind of indication on how it performs on the highway. Version 12 was great on the highway, a little bit close on following distance and late braking, but assuming all that's been fixed, I feel like it's going to be a great drive. person walking out, we're slowing down for them, which is great. This is not a crosswalk. They just appeared from behind that truck. The car saw them, slowed down, and then we proceeded. That was flawless. Okay, red light. We could probably go after this white truck. So if we like kind of match their speed as we went through it here. Perfect. Okay, we should just go because this person's going to have to slow down. Nice. Car is slowing down for this truck, which is great. Really nice job there. That was a big truck. They couldn't make that turn without coming into our lane. And FSD saw that, slowed down, and gave them room to come out, which was really good. Oh, see? It's exactly what JD said. Oh, I don't want to interview. This person behind is going to get mad. Twice there, the car tried to go to 0 and got to 1 kilometer. And so it got down to 1 kilometer and then tried to go. And it's like, oh, no, I got to stop. And then slow down to 1 kilometer again. And then tried to go and was like, oh, no, I haven't hit 0 again. And then stopped again. So that's definitely not great. That's a regression for sure. I've never seen that behavior before. You're going to piss off a lot of drivers driving like that. So Tesla either needs to commit to allowing rolling stops again, or it needs to get better about bringing the car down to 0 consistently. Even if it was like an option in the settings where you were taking responsibility, but it's hard because ultimately it's the car doing it. And so that's where I don't think you're allowed to do that, but I don't know.